Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this exclusive interview. I'm here with the creative director of the remake of George Orwell's 1984, Mr. Pranav Boki. Mr. Boki, thank you so much for being with us.
The pleasure's all mine. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, let's get straight into it. Critics are dumbfounded by the changes that you've made in your remake of 1984. Tell us a little bit about these changes.
Well, when we decided we were going to go for an American perspective instead of a European perspective, we knew that we had to kind of change a few things, significant things. The European perspective is very gloomy. It's not as optimistic. It's more pessimistic of the future than America is. And we thought that the American people and America as a country is very optimistic. They always look to the future in this bright light, and they always look to this future for hope. And knowing this, we really wanted to change a few of the things in 1984 to kind of fit better with the American perspective. We really wanted to have a more happy-go-lucky, a more positive outlook on the future, while still maintaining some aspects of 1984 that make Orwell's book so classic.
Okay, so what specific changes did you make to the art style to be able to incorporate what you wanted to?
Well, two of our biggest changes were with the color palette and the architectural style in 1984. When you made the movie, we had to change these probably the most.
Okay, so let's start with colors. What do you mean by color palette? What all did you change there?
Well, to really see what we changed, let's go back to the original. In 1984, you see colors like black, gray, red, usually monotonic colors, and they kind of symbolize the dark and dreary area that was Airstrip 1. And when George Orwell wrote 1984, he did this because he wanted to look to the future as something gloomy that we shouldn't be looking forward to. But when it comes to America, we always want to look forward to the future. So we use a really bright and vibrant color palette to kind of match the style of optimism and hope.
Okay, so going back to when you talked about the architecture, did you literally mean you changed the way the buildings looked?
Well, yeah, the buildings and literally everything from transportation, infrastructure, everything was changed. And we wanted to match this futuristic style, so we went with the Googie architecture that really symbolized the future.
I'm sorry, Googie architecture?
Yeah, I know, sounds really familiar. Not really, but Googie architecture was something that really visualized this science fiction style, and this kind of space age kind of influenced Googie architecture. And you see it with these huge signs, and it matches the color palette, of vibrancy, of hope, future. And Googie architecture symbolizes the kind of formal function, where they want things to look nice, things to look extravagant, but they might not necessarily have a function with them. And this kind of coincided with the happy-go-lucky and the kind of consumerism that really gripped America during the 60s.
Okay, so you're basically saying that you created this world where everything seems like it would be perfectly fine, but it's still underneath the original 1984 Big Brother, or should I say Uncle Sam, is watching?
Yes, in 1984, when you remade it into American version, we wanted to make it seem like the elements of 1984 originally were still there. Like Uncle Sam's still watching you, they're still looking out if you're a spy or not, they're still kind of controlling your life, but in a more American way. We wanted this to be hidden from the fact where 1984 was kind of in your face, what's happening. In this American remake, we kind of wanted to hide this behind the facts of the colors or the architecture. We kind of wanted to make it seem like America was still the greatest, America was still perfect, but in reality, behind the boards, the government is still watching you, the government is still following you, and you're really not an individual, just like how Orwell envisioned in 1984.
Wow, that's intense. Well, Mr. Boki, thank you so much for being with us. And
Thank you.
Remember, ladies and gentlemen, I guess everything is not always as it seems. Thanks for being with us.